Scrappy friends, I have a 7 Scrappy Ladies challenge video for you today, and I know it's like a week late. I'm super horrible. This layout has been sitting on my desk half scrapped for a while because it has been the craziest week and like couple of weeks really. So I apologize to my Scrappy ladies that this is so late, but I really wanted to share it with you because this is like one of my favorite layouts. So you've seen me use my stencil to draw some triangles. It is one of the first things I love to do. I love that look with the black. I just, outline it, it works. Then I'm taking this gold Faber-Castell Luxe, and it's pretty much just a really nice gold paste. It's a really metallic, it's a very gold. So, yeah, but it looks so gorgeous on layouts and projects. So definitely one of those things that I find has been a really, really fun mixed media product to add. So now I just took some shimmers, acrytones, and I just did some splatters. And now I'm going to add some stripes. And I'm just taking a paintbrush and some I'm not sure if that's the black acrytones or if I use gray first and then I decided I didn't like the gray, and then I'm gonna come back with some black in a minute. But I did have to add, and there's my clunky head, a couple of extra, like run it over each of the stripes a couple of times because it was not quite dark enough. So just know that depending on what color you use, actually it might have not been black. It might have been more of a gray, and it had a little bit of a brown undertone to it. And then I ended up adding the black to it. So I might have thought I was doing a black because I did the stripes like a while ago. So now what I'm doing is I'm taking some shimmers, creamies, and I am filling in some of the triangles that I cut or that I wrote out. I am trying to be careful because sometimes with that black pen you can smudge it a little bit, and it mixes in with the paint to make the paint a little bit darker. And I'm trying to get different colors out of that purple by watering some of it down and then keeping some of it really concentrated. And I think I mixed some of the purple from that from my Prima too. So here I am working on some more black again while this the acrytones is drying, or the stuff in the triangles, the creamies, which are just pretty much watercolors that have it like a shimmer to them. They're really pretty. So I added more black to it because it just wasn't black enough. And I think I might have done it. It might have been more of a gray color that I used, but I really wanted it dark. And so I took some, I have this palette that has some spritzes and colorings on them, and they're mixed. And so I think I added a little bit of the Prima watercolors in with, I think that's Jenny B Blue, and it's like a teal color. And so I'm just kind of like creating more of a custom color so that I can have this purple and teal color because I really love that combination. They're really nice and fun, and it's going to be fun for my layout. Right, so I just filled in some, and I did a few splatters with both of the colors. I also did some splatters with the black too. I like to do my splatters with a paint now. I found that just the Heidi Swapp Color Shine tends to not dry too well on mixed media, and so I really try to avoid using it if I'm going to be using any mixed media. If I'm just using regular paper, it's not as big of a deal. It usually dries pretty quick, but otherwise I'm waiting days and days for it to dry. And who wants a smudged fingerprint on your amazing layout, right? So this all dried, and so now I'm working on the layers and everything. So I have this picture of a sea turtle, which I actually scrapped a very long time ago, but I did it really untraditionally, and so I really want to redo this. And I know that there's this big debate about whether we should scrap the same photo multiple times, and I am in the category of sometimes there's just amazing pictures that we have that need to be scrapped more than once. So but definitely, if you're not someone who likes to scrap the same photo more than once, you're not the only one, and it's okay, right? I think the thing that I love the most about scrapbooking is that we each have our own rules that we've set for ourselves, and you're not forced to do anything. So you can do it however you want and what sparks your creativity the most. So yeah, our challenge this month was to use a couple of different forms of mixed media. So I definitely did some watercolors, I did some modeling paste, I did some regular like acrylic type paint, and so now I'm layering. And I think that qualifies, right? But I'm also going to do something else that's a little bit different later. So yeah, I'm still building layers. So even though I have all of this mixed media, right? I still have to add some layers because it wouldn't be a layout of mine if I didn't have a lot of layers. I find that if I don't add layers, sometimes I feel like something's missing. And but I did want everything to work together, so I tried to make sure that when I picked papers, I used a lot of the crepe paper Oasis because it has a lot of the pinks and the purples and those teal colors that I have in the media. And I think that that is one thing to keep in mind, that when you do use mixed media and different forms, to really try to stick to a certain color palette and really try to use that in your papers and in the media that you're using, and it really will help coordinate, and it'll make it feel like they were supposed to be together, because they're supposed to be together because they're on your layout, right? So I was thinking about using that sticker because it was a notebook tab sticker, like so you could see the notebook edges, but it is like a vintage looking or distressed, and I just didn't think it was going to work with all of the white on the background. And even though some of the Oasis has some elements that maybe aren't as clean and bright as some of the other lines that I've seen, it definitely has a lot more white in it than what that tab was, or that sticker. So I decided to nix the sticker even though I really wanted to use it. And so I'm going to pull out this part of it was part of where the frames were, and it has gold and like glittered gold, and then it has like a pink to purpley ombre, or a pink to like a yellow coral color. And so I want to use this because I want to add something dimensional, and I do cut it so I can stick part of it on the bottom and part of it on the top, and I just want it to like kind of nestle underneath some of my layers and through my layers a little bit, and it just kind of helps prop some of the layers up. I really like to see the layers. I mean, I know once you stick it in your album, you don't see all these layers, all the layers, because they kind of get smushed in the album, but I really do like to see the dimension. I mean, I don't want it to be so big that like I can only fit a few layouts in my album, but I definitely love the look of having different levels and different layers and stuff tucked. And I mean, but I think when you're doing a mixed media layout, that lends to that style a lot more. But it definitely takes some playing around. Whenever I do mixed media layouts, I always know I'm going to spend probably maybe an extra half an hour to an hour longer um at my desk time. So, and that's not saying, that's even not including like time that it would take maybe to dry and all that stuff. So just, and I think that there's a lot of people who you want this layout to be done like really fast, right? I mean, because we want to feel like we've gotten stuff accomplished, but there is something in taking your time and doing it in chunks. And this layout definitely turned out that way for me. I definitely picked it up, you know, here and there. I couldn't get it done all at one time because I just didn't have the time, because I was busy, because we all have, right? We're all busy and our families are busy and things happen and you just have to go with the flow. And there's just something about adding some pieces here and there and letting time adjust how your layout is, because when you see it in the different layers, you start seeing different things that you can add in a different way. And it so worked for this. And I don't normally scrapbooking like this. I like to feel like I got something accomplished in a short amount of time, but it definitely really helped. So to help let's bring it back to the layout, right? So to help bring out that gold in the mixed media, I'm pulling out these gold Studio Calico 7 paper, right? Yeah, 7 paper alphas that are these really cool cursive type font, and they're really fun. And so I'm going to spell out turtle, and I've looked around quite a bit to find other alphas to work. And let me tell you, it took a while. Because, you know, we have like 50 million alphas, of course, and none in the right letters. But I found these from Pink Paisley from, oh gosh, one of their earlier collections. It was one of their summer collections from a few years ago. And I think it was in a Scraptastic kit that I got these. And surprisingly, I had enough to write citing. Of course, it's kind of almost coming off, but I really like the way that turtle is close to the picture and then citing's not. So it's just going to be turtle citing. So let's talk a little bit about this photo, because I haven't even talked about that yet. As I'm pulling out brads, because I'm using brads like I'm crazy. I'm using brads on a layout. Like, I haven't pulled out brads in forever. But anyway, let's talk about this photo. So this photo I took with my iPhone and actually turned out super amazing. Not to say that you can't get super amazing photos with your iPhones, right? But like, I was so impressed with how this picture turned out. And I think it helped that the turtle was no lie. Like, if he wanted to come and attack me, like, I don't know how many times turtles really attack people, but if he wanted to bite me, he would have been able to do it like lickety split here. He was so close. He was right up to, like, almost on the beach. And this is one of the local places that we like to hang out, just in Haleiwa. There's a little like beachy area, but then they also do like surf lessons and a lot of wakeboarding and that kind of thing. And where they do a lot of lessons and stuff, and there's a park. And I mean, it's not the greatest beach. It really isn't. It's not the bluest beach, but we like to go there because the waves weren't very big and the kids could go in there and we could just play. And there's often times where you would see the sea turtles, or you would see like other fish and stuff. So you would see stuff coming out, and it was really, really cool. Okay, so back to this. You just seen me use some Versamark and some embossing powder, and I'm gonna emboss this. I was trying to do like a gold to purple look, thinking of the sand and then the purple on my layout. Well, it didn't quite turn out the way I wanted. These are color cast wood like divider piece of things. They're super cute, and they were blank. And I knew if I just stamped on it, it probably would bleed, because that is the one thing about wood and stamping. Usually you get this bleeding look and it doesn't turn out too good. But because I used the embossing powder, then I just restamped over it, because I was not going to waste this. I don't know. Have you guys ever had that where you've had something and you did it and it didn't turn out quite the way you wanted, but by golly gosh, you're going to use it, right? Because you spent the money on it. So, and actually it ended up looking pretty cool, even though you can't really, like, you can see the gold, but the gold didn't end up being very crisp. And I think it was probably just because it was on the wood. So, But I put it up at the top because I tried some other places and I didn't think they worked, but I kind of like the fact that maybe it'll stick up out of the top, and it says Paradise, and I used a Mamale Hawaii set of sticker or stamps, so they're like Hawaii themed because, you know, I can't just seriously, Hawaii stuff, I sometimes feel like I have to get you. I don't know why. It just is like this thing that I have to. But anyway, so here I'm adding, to end all this, I've added sequins from some crepe paper sequins. I've added a whole bunch of purple enamel dots and those brads, and so now I'm just gonna add these color cast hearts. There was some blues and purples. They have these amazing blue, purple, and white hearts that are new, and they're amazing, and they were perfect. So here is my layout. I am so sad it was so late, but I'll make sure that I have all the other ladies who participated in the challenge this month, and their layout. I'll make sure that I have links to their layout so you can check out theirs if you haven't seen it. And I just want to thank you guys for joining me and watching me ramble and talk about this amazing layout. So I'll see you guys later, and I hope you guys have a great week. Bye!